right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Baron Broadcast. Actually, our 10th episode. We are in double digits. I'm your host, Kenny Graff. I'm here with my co-host,
Wano G.
Wano G. Long time no see. I'm going to stop right there. How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing good. Good day. Just thanking God for another day, you know.
Hey, love that. I love that. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into our kind of recap and results from the week, Juan. Okay, here it is. Semifinals. Barons Allegheny, Geneva, Grove City. Let's jump right into this first game here, Juan. Looking at a Baron victory that we guessed. I said it was going to be 4-1. You said it would be 5-0. The results? A Baron victory. We made the PAC championship once again.
Woo.
Third time in 4 years. This is great. I love this. A little disappointed. I thought it was going to be 4-1 to end the game. And then we ended up subbing out a bunch of people and unfortunately let up another goal in like the last couple minutes of the game. Made me kind of sad. I was excited to potentially have one right. How do you feel about that game, Juan? You actually were commentating that game for a little bit. How do you feel about it? Let's talk about it for just a brief minute here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that we got 4 goals. I'm not really happy with like them letting in 2.
Yeah.
That's not going to slide against Grove City, and it wasn't going to slide against Geneva either. So not super. I mean, honestly, just not a great way to go into that game. But it's also could be good because it'll be a wake up call for the guys, you know, at training tonight and tomorrow. And then just Saturday morning when they wake up, like, you know, Allegheny had one of the top strikers in the pack, but I mean, Grove City is definitely a much tougher opponent. So it would have definitely been almost like a chip off the shoulder to
don't spoil it.
To like go in with wait, what?
Don't spoil it.
What?
We haven't gone through the results for Geneva Grove City yet.
Oh, shoot.
All right, well, let's just jump into that real quick. All right, we said that we wanted a 1-1-0. We both said Geneva. Spoiled it. Grove City won. It was a 1-0. Crazy game, but yes, Juan, continue with what you're saying. Geneva or Grove City is going to be a tough opponent. Continue what you're saying.
Yeah. So Grove City won. But yeah, okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, no, I think it just would have been nice to go into that game with a shutout in the semifinals. But yeah, I mean, it'll be good. The guys, will have to wake up. Just kind of to that first goal, especially. I don't know what really happened there, but.
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys feel similar, so
yeah.
But
I think
it's a good game overall.
Yeah, we should jump in. We're going to jump into it after this, anyways. But just those couple goals and stuff. But I mean, it literally was just flat feet. We were up 4-0 at one point and just felt comfortable and just let the game slide out from under us. So definitely a wake-up call. They're probably mad at themselves for it too, but you can just see it in the film. It was just like we were up so much. It was just like 10 minutes left. I mean, what are you going to do? So, yeah, let's talk about this Geneva Grove City game really quick. We both expected Geneva to win the game. We both said it was going to be 1-0, a short game. Dude, Grove City came out firing. They were so tough. I watched that game while I was watching the Barons game at the same time. As you know, I was texting you. And it was crazy. It was just, Grove City heavy-handed first half. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, they came out to play. They lost to Geneva earlier in the season. So handing Geneva, who haven't lost in the season yet, their first L, well done. I mean, that's crazy. That is something that we have to take into consideration is that, they don't care if they've lost to you before because we've also beaten Grove City earlier in the season. They don't care if they have lost to you. They're going to come out fighting, and I expect that. I mean, and then it was away. It was Geneva was hosting that game too. So, I mean, the ball was in their court, and they just let it go. I mean, the commentators were kind of in disbelief at one point when they're just like, I mean, what is going on? I mean, they keep just not being able to complete passes. Geneva just played a poor game. That was literally it. But also, I have to give credit to Grove City. scoring that goal. Just caught the goalkeeper off his line. I don't really totally remember the goal. I'm sure we're gonna look at it in a minute here too. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But anything from that one? Were you able to look at that game? I know you're commentating obviously the other game. Were you able to see the highlights?
During the game, I was able to. I was just kind of looking at the scores.
Yeah.
They scored early on. Like they scored in like 10 minutes or something. So it was 1-0 every time I checked. But I wasn't really shocked. I mean, I thought Geneva was going to win, but I wasn't really shocked when I saw, at the final whistle that Grove City came out on top. They're a great team. So
100%. Okay, well, enough talking about it. Let's go look at it, actually. So let's run the clip and jump into our Franciscan Week in Review. All right, this is the breakdown of our 4-2 victory over Allegheny. Again, we're just going to talk and commentate over this, just skip through the game. Nothing really crazy. Juan was actually commentating this game, so that's pretty cool. But Juan, let's jump over to our first goal here. Just look at it, see what's happening here. That was it right there. So, free kick given here. Joe St. George is going to run over it. Ryan Miller going to place it well off of Lucas Cross's head. Dink into the back of the box. He's going to celebrate. Watch. Oh, this isn't the one, but Joe St. George is a part where he celebrates with the team, and he almost dies. He falls over.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So that was our first goal.
Lucas's second goal. Or
yeah. That was that one. But let's jump over to actually the second goal now. Let's just go see here where that came. That came up a little after this here. Yeah, it's right here. All right, this is awesome because Lucas actually just takes this himself. I love when Lucas is selfish. Let's see if this is actually the build-up here. It is. Yeah, Lucas is going to just beat all these defenders, basically. Just dribble past. Give him some space. You don't give Lucas space, guys. This is it. And here it is. Ready? Joe St. George coming up the end. Bang! There he goes. He comes back I just ate that. It's so funny. And then they hit the boom celebration. I love that.
5 booms.
Big 5 booms. That's 2 up. We're 2 up there. Anything you want to say, Juan, while we still...
No, I agree. I like when Lucas is selfish like that. Julian did made a good run outwards just to kind of give him a little bit more space. They were trying to track Julian as well, so I think feet up a little bit, so...
Yeah,
good on Julian.
If you notice here, this guy's getting a little angry here, and that comes to fruition later in the game. Number 15, Brady Napoleon, somebody we said to keep an eye out later on. A little frustrated, obviously, at this point. I think Lucas Cross just passed him in goals on the season, so that's got to be a little frustrating as well. But Lucas actually broke a record this game. We're going to see our third goal here coming up here soon by Lucas, who is going to then have a hat trick. And at the end of this as well, kind of a little counter, pretty quick counter. Julian Freeman's going to flick this on. Lucas again, just going to use his strength, get the ball back, dribble by the defender with his speed, top bends. He said, ooh, little finger wag. And they're going to go celebrate together. Already, you know who's already on the sideline, Julian Freeman. That's great. Again, hit the boom dance. I think they love that.
He makes it look way too easy.
Way too easy. I mean, look at this.
It's definitely not that easy. I can tell you for sure because I definitely have tried that before and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and Lucas gets subbed off obviously for this time. Stacking on. So we're gonna go into I think the second half now. Here we're gonna go up 4-0 by Ryan Miller. Was it Ryan?
It was Joe St. George.
Oh, yeah, I love this goal. This one's awesome. Joe's going to take this up the middle. He's going to find Augie Rubino here. Augie's going to have this nice back heel. Joe's just going to dribble by the defender. Really easy. Little pull in the shirt. Bottom, he gets up. I want to see if they show it here because they showed it in one of the videos they made where, Kobe, I think it's Kobe, Augie, and somebody else, do the whole Spider-Man point thing where they all point. No, they don't show it. But it's so funny. That was so funny when they did that. Again, there he goes. 4 up with 34 minutes to go. Obviously, the next goals come from Allegheny. Just right there. There's the one. We're sitting on our heels.
I want to watch that one back because that was crazy.
I think it just takes again.
I'm just so confused on.
Yeah, so what happens here, I think Ben James goes to make this long pass. This is very similar to a goal we let up last time and just loses it. And then everybody's jogging, everybody's flat-footed, just, whatever. We're 13 minutes left in the game. I mean, it's just, Aiden's furious with his back line. I mean, look at him. He's freaking out on his team, especially because it just didn't get the shutout. But again, it's
I don't know if it was like something about forcing him to his weaker foot there, but it was weird. The pace of our back line to get back, it just did not seem urgent at all.
No, and then
it's really strange.
Yeah, everybody's just frustrated. I mean, look at that. We're up 4-0 at the time, and we're yelling at each other to get back in this game. And that obviously turns into some frustration on the other side of the game. You see at one point here, you don't see it actually. It's right here. We have a red card shown to, let's see, right here. He showed back pocket. That's not good when he reaches for his back pocket. I think there was just like a weird tackle. None of the film showed it. Red card. Brady Napoleon, unfortunate. Didn't get his goals anymore of this game. Season over. They actually, after the red card, scored on us again, which I want to go.
That's just Pollard's career over. Not a great way to end that.
I think isn't he a junior?
On my sheet last night, it said he was a senior.
Oh, okay. But again, if you look here really quick, again, flat-footed. Watch this. Our back line. These guys are just going to dribble. We're just not running after balls, just kind of sitting flat-footed and just going to score. This is also our backup goalkeeper because obviously we want to keep fresh legs for the last game of the season, but at the same time, it's our defense that's still out there, and it's who we represent. So, anyways, end of the game ends up being 4-2 victory. Shout out to Daniel Beckman here, let's jump over to the Grove City game here. Cool. Now we're at the Grove City Geneva game. This is a big one. We both knew this was going to be a defensive game. But let's go jump into 10 minutes into this game. We're going to see a throw-in by Grove City here. The only goal of the game. It's going to go in. It's going to bounce around. And then right about the top of the 18, maybe a little in, you're going to see this rip just come in. Goalkeeper just going to not be there too quick right here. I think, let's see here. Boom. Little volley.
Good first touch, too.
First touch. They all go celebrate on the sideline. Hugging, crying. I don't know what else, but they're all excited. But again, this was going to be a low-scoring game. We already knew it. And then we kind of just jump around here. Again, this is the end of the game, which is 1-0. But there were some plays I wanted to see if they show it. But maybe it's here. There was a play that I thought could have been called like a yellow card or go right here. I think this is it. Watch this. This could have been a PK, I think. Right there. If you watch it, he kind of dives too. I think they don't call it a PK because the ball gets out from underneath him and it's too far forward. This is Singh, who is really good for Geneva. But they don't call it here, which I feel like, they could have called that, and that could have been a PK. Ref says no go. They get the ball up, and they move on. And then there were a bunch of different opportunities for Grove City in the first half. Like, they were putting the pressure on. But the second half, it was all Geneva, I feel like. Geneva was really turning it up. My fire alarm's going off now, which is really funny. And there's also an ambulance going by. So there's a lot of things happening right now in my house. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's jump over to our special guest for this week. All right, everybody, we're here with our special guest of the week again, Coach Ridenauer. How you doing, Coach?
Great. How you doing? Where's Juan tonight?
I don't know. I don't know where Juan is. I think he's a busy man. Busy man when it comes to.
Must be watching film.
True. I think so. Actually, I think he said he was doing that. And then he said he hit his head when he was getting into his Lamborghini. I mean, he's 6'5", so that's the things that happen. But anyways, I'm glad to have you here, Coach, again. To see you, obviously, it's great to see you because that means we're winning games. We're moving on. Let's talk about last night. Let's talk about your win against Allegheny. Walk me through the win. It was a 4-2 victory. We just watched film on it, a little bit ago, but obviously it was interrupted with a fire alarm at the end of that. But happy to be here. I'm excited to hear from you, obviously being the head coach of the men's soccer team, about how last night went.
Yeah, I think last time we talked about how we had talked to the guys that we're going to have to commit to defending. That usually in the conference tournament, teams that commit to defending and also win the restart scoreboard usually have success. We were fortunate enough to get an early goal. I think that really, set us up well for the rest of the game. On a restart free kick, Lucas was able to head a ball in from Ryan. Great free kick that Ryan took. And then the second goal was awesome. Lucas again, did his magical stuff that Lucas does. and then to get a third goal before halftime was awesome. We couldn't have drawn up a better first half for us, a 3-0 shutout. But I think I said this at halftime last night to during the halftime review and also to the team that most of the time a 3-goal lead, you feel pretty good. But against Allegheny, they have probably one of the top. I told the team they're probably one of the top offenses in the last month in the country. I mean, they're just scoring goals left and right. And, Brady and Napoleon had scored so many goals over the last couple of weeks that to keep him, we had gone 3 halves at that point without giving up a goal to him, which is remarkable and a great defensive effort by all of our guys, but especially our center backs who were all over. So 3-0, I was still a little bit concerned that this game wasn't over yet. If they come out, they get one, they can get a second one, and now all of a sudden we got a dogfight. Fortunately for us, Joe St. George and Augie had a great play and put us at 4-0. And I think at that point, regardless of how good Allegheny is offensively, I think at that point the game was pretty much out of reach, and which was great for us because we were able to get some of our subs in. We're able to rest some of our starters, which typically we don't have you don't usually have that luxury in the tournament. To get a lot of guys in the game last night was fun. But at the same time, our guys were super upset that we gave up a goal. Super upset. It was almost like when I had a team meeting at the end of the game, I had to pick the guys back up and say, "You guys, we're playing in the championship game on Saturday. Let's see some smiles." But as I told the team today in our meeting, that attitude and that disappointment that we gave up a goal or two is the reason that we're still playing. That's the reason that we're still playing. We weren't playing at this time last year. That team defense attitude, we're hanging our hat on defending, we're hanging our hat on shutouts, is the reason that we were the number 1 seed and the reason that we're still playing.
I love that. I think one of the things that you and I actually talked about behind the scenes was your last game you guys played against them, where at the halftime speech you gave them was just, you had mentioned that the first half you played against them was one of the worst basically we've played, which is, coming into this game, obviously to flip that on its head and have one of the best halves we play is incredible.
100%. I said the same thing to the team today. The exact same thing you just said was, wow, 2 weeks ago we were talking about we just played the worst half. And then last night we come out and we play our best half. And we were up 2-0 at Allegheny, and we were up 3-0 last night. But I felt a lot better about last night's effort than I did 2 weeks ago.
100%. I mean, the way they played seemed like Barron soccer, all through and through offense, defense, keeping, everything was awesome. And we talked about it. You obviously weren't here for the film, but you can see in Aiden Miller's face how angry he was when we let up that first goal. And we talk about it. It was a little flat-footed, obviously comfortable cushion of 4 goals. Like, it's going to happen sometimes, but it's just frustrating. You're just like, the second you give up, you're going to let up goals against teams like this. You don't have that luxury anymore to just slack off, and your slacking off is good enough to play in the pack. Like you've said multiple times, anybody can beat anybody in the pack. It's just dependent on how you play. And you've seen that throughout the season with, teams beating teams that shouldn't necessarily. And, it's great to see. Anyways, what I wanted to get to there was, obviously you have a decent amount of seniors on your team. You have some great we've had some great conversations with them, learned who they were, the background of everybody. I just want to jump in and from a coaching perspective, this senior class, talk to me about them, who they are as a team, how they've grown, because this is technically like your senior class. You've had them from their first year. These are your guys. So I'm curious from your perspective. We've talked a lot about their perspective, but these seniors to you, what do they mean to you, who they are in that aspect of it?
Yeah. When they chose Franciscan, they were choosing Franciscan for a different coach. They thought they were coming to play for a different coach. I think they may have mentioned this. And then next thing you know, in the middle of the summer, I'm their new head coach. And they easily could have said, I'm going to try to go find somewhere else. I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable in this program, whatever. And these guys came here, bought into everything that we were trying to sell, and have really taken this program to a completely different level. And I couldn't be more proud of them. Franciscan soccer was on the ups before I got here. Coach Boback and Coach Swope and those guys had gotten this thing going. They were making conference tournaments and doing those things. And now I say we, myself, the coaches, all of the guys that are involved in this program, with this group of seniors, have taken it to a different level. It's different expectations. Our expectation is to play in the conference championship game. Our expectation is to make the NCAA tournament. Those are our expectations now. And we can thank these seniors for all of their hard work. Now, this time last year, they were all juniors and didn't have a lot of seniors ahead of them. And I think they mentioned this during the interview that you did with them that was so great in the locker room, that when they were first years and sophomores, they were looking up to the Nick Millers. They were looking up to Jax. They were looking up to Chris St. George. They were looking up to Mikey. They were looking up to Liam. They were looking up to all these guys that were leading us and felt like, okay, we're just along for the ride. And all of a sudden they're a junior and there's no one to lead them anymore. And they're all looking at each other going, I don't know what to do. So, and I think they even mentioned this here, that last year it was, I would walk into the locker room and say, whose team is this? I don't know whose team this is. And I think all of them took that to heart over this offseason. And when they showed up for preseason, it was obvious whose team it was this year. And they have fully committed to what we do, how we do it, have really done a great job teaching the first years. This is what we do. This is how we do it. And they're leading us. And I'm just along for the ride. I'm glad I'm on the same bus that they're on. And we're having a great time. It's so fun to be with those guys every day. They put everything they can into this program, and it's nice to see that they're being rewarded for that.
That's incredible. I think one of the things that I wanted to pick up on that you said, that it's almost like this is the expectation now. You didn't see them running on the field, celebrating, going crazy. Yes, they did after and, said hello to their fans that were there. But they're not – this is a program, right? We've already mentioned that this is a program now. We expect to be where we are, right? As the record shows, 3 out of the last 4 years, we've ended up being in the PAC championship. That 1 year not being there, as last year, who we saw Grove City versus Geneva, which Geneva ended up winning that, who isn't in this tournament this year anymore, who have lost to Grove City, who is now our opponent for this coming week. I'm so curious to see. We've already played them this year, and we've said it a million times before that it's like a mirror playing against them because they play exactly how we play. I'm curious to see, obviously, Grove City's been itching. They haven't won, I think the thing is they haven't won a PAC championship since 2005. So, obviously, with as many years as they've been trying to get towards that, it's a great program. What is your expectation? What is the conversation with the team going into this game on Saturday at 7 against Grove City, who, again, they're probably upset that they lost to us this year, as well as upset they didn't win it last year. And they got there, and they're back again this year. So, I mean, from my perspective, think about this. That was us a few years ago. We made it the PAC championship, lost to Bethany. We got back the next year and beat Bethany. I mean, we knew what the expectation was. From your perspective, I'm curious, what are you telling the team? How are you preparing for this game? Obviously, it's only a couple days away. I really like to know.
Yeah, I mean, we're focusing on us first. That's the first thing we got to do. We knew that whoever won the other game, Geneva or Grove City, we were going to be in for a dogfight on Saturday night. Right? Both of these teams are excellent teams. Both are very, very competitive. Both have long traditions of success. I realize Grove City may not have won the PAC championship tournament in a while, but they've been undefeated in the regular season since I've been here. They win a lot of games. They play a tough non-conference schedule usually. Great opponent. They do things the right way. They are, as you said, they play a very similar style to us. In fact, they play such a similar style that sometimes when we're scouting our opponents, we look for when our opponents have played Grove City, because we say, okay, listen, this is how this team plays Grove City. This is probably what it's going to look like when we played them. That's how close of a mirror image they are to us, in my opinion. Coach Dries does a great job at Grove City. I respect him tremendously. I know it's going to be a tough contest. They are very good offensively and defensively, and they're really good on restarts. They're really good on corners. They're really good on long throws. They're really good on free kicks. We're going to have to defend restarts. The times that they have beaten us recently, they have scored goals on restarts. I think their goal last night against Geneva was a restart goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Technically, it was a throw-in, and then they bounced around and then won. Yeah.
So we're going to have to do well against them on restarts. I'm glad we're at home. I'm glad we're in front of our fans. Mm-hmm. I think that's tremendous for us, and that's going to help us. I'm glad that we have a lot of guys that have been in this game before. All of our seniors and juniors have been in this game 2 years ago, and they know what it's going to take. They know what it takes. But like you said, Grove City does also. So they're going to bring everything they can as well. I'm fully confident that we'll be ready to go, and we're gonna play one of our best games of the season, and that's what it's going to take for us to win the championship on Saturday.
100%. I love it. If you're another team that's not Grove City or Franciscan watching this episode, just take from us. Play like Grove City, play like Franciscan. You end up being in the PAC championships. That's all you got to do. This is all you got to fix. No, I'm just kidding. But it was a pleasure, Coach, having you here today. Hearing about all this. I'm super excited for Saturday. I'm sad I can't be there, but I know Juan is going to be holding down the fort for us, even though he's not here. But excited for it, Coach. Thank you so much for being here, and go win us that PAC championship.
We'll do our best. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, Juan. If you're not doing it on Saturday night, you're in the area, come to Steubenville and watch a great soccer match at 7 o'clock.
And if you're not there, watch it online. Juan might be commentating. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But this is going to be a great time either way. So appreciate you again, Coach. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Kenny.
Bye. All right. Thank you again, Coach Ridenour, for joining us today. It was great to talk with you. I know Juan unfortunately couldn't be there, which is totally fine, but that's how things roll. I just wanted to jump right into the last thing for today before we jump into the end of the episode. But we're looking at our predictions for the last game of the PAC play, the PAC championship. Blessed to be here, definitely as a Baron fan. We're glad of, the outcome of the last game. But we move on to Grove City. We're looking at the last time the Barons played Grove City. We won 3-2. 2 goals really quick came off from Lucas Cross, Jonathan Schreiner, and then Ryan on the Grove City side was able to score a goal pretty much right after John. And then later in the game, in the 69th minute, Ryan on our team, decided to score a goal. And then Ryan again on the other team decided to score in the 87th, able to clean up things again, just maybe flat-footed at the end of the game. It just seems like it's a thing. You have to play 90 minutes to beat these teams, and this is what it's going to be. So looking at the shots, we had 23 compared to their 16. Again, Franciscan is very offensively stacked. Grove City, on the other hand, very defensively stacked. So maybe not, it might not reflect. It's going to reflect it in the kind of statistics here, especially with shots But saves, you're going to see Franciscan had 6 and Grove City had 5. Corner kicks, Grove City had 8. So, I mean, Grove City leads, I think, the PAC in corner kicks taken. So maybe not on target shots, but they're taking them. Franciscan only had 3 this game. And then fouls, pretty even, 10 to 11. I mean, again, we see 4 yellow cards here. 2 by Franciscan and then 2 by Grove City. And then again, things to note. I haven't totally updated this from our last game here, but I just wanted to point out, again, Noah Gray, somebody to take a note of offensively, as well as this new guy who's popped up, Aiden Eck. For Grove City. I believe that's how you say his last name. Just 2 people that you got to take a note of if you're going to save goals, and you got to know where they are on the field at all times. With that being said, anything that kind of stands out to you, Juan, maybe somebody you want to talk about Grove City in their style of player?
Not particularly. I mean, I know we talked about this the last episode when we played them in regular season, but I mean, and Brent always says this too. They play just like us. So I don't know. I mean, that should help us in the final. But it's always a good matchup between us. So a little bit nervous, but I also have I'm confident with the lads on the team. So
True.
But not much to say about their team. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to jump over really quick to another thing to take a look at Juan here. So let's take a minute here and jump over to that. Yeah, and this is the other thing I just wanted to show you on here is the Grove City statistics. We're just looking at random information that I think we should, look at here. So Noah Gray, Aiden Eck, like we talked about a little bit earlier, looking at their goals, 8 and 6. 3 assists from Noah, so he's doing both the passing and the scoring. He's got 19 points in the pack. Just below him is Aiden Eck with 13. And it goes down. Something I want to kind of take a look at here, though, is look how many goal scorers they have. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different people on the team have scored a goal, which is incredible. Looking at the cards, maybe take a look at Connor Hudson here. Keep an eye on him for fouls, things like that. Obviously, you always want to take that in consideration. But is there anything else here, Juan, that you might want to take a look at that maybe pops out to you statistically speaking for these players here?
Let me just take a quick look. I mean, obviously just looking at the points, which is, if you don't know, it's accumulation. If the viewers don't know, it's accumulation of goals and assists. Usually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, obviously Noah Gray has 19, which is usually really high for a good player.
Yeah.
And then, Aiden Eck, he's got 13. So, I know we already talked about them a little bit, but yeah, those are definitely 2 guys to watch. But even under them, a lot of guys have, Camden Thomas,
Yeah. Well, I want to say
Ryan Merritt.
Camden here, if you're looking at it, he's only played 12 games. He's only started 9 of them, so half the games that these other guys have started, especially you can see in their minutes, but he has 4 goals. So coming off the bench, Camden here is somebody to keep an eye out. One less game with Ryan Merrick, with 4 goals as well. But yeah, Camden Thomas coming off the bench there. I don't know if they're continuing to keep pulling him off the bench or he's starting now. Assuming maybe he's starting, maybe early in the season. There's not many minutes. But somebody look out, obviously, number 19, number 6, and 16 potentially coming off the bench. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, yeah, just taking a look at this. I've done also a ton of more research. I won't talk about it on, penalty kicks, things like that, which way they go, all that other stuff. But one other thing I wanted to look at here, we'll jump over to the NCAA stats that they have on these guys. So let's look at that, too. Yeah, and this is the last thing I just want to show you on here. I'm looking at the actual NCAA stats for Grove City. It actually shows their national rank and then obviously in the conference rank of things, right? So, for example, this assists. They're ranked 180th in national rank. There's 407 different teams ranked. And then in the conference, they're 4th best in assists. We're obviously the conference leader, so that's kind of how you look at this. So let's just look at some things that they lead in. Grove City here leads in corner kicks per game. I think they're averaging about 6.5 here. They're ranked 31 nationally in corner kicks. Or here it actually says in the number 1 in the conference value is 8. So they're 2 behind the best in the league, but still averaging pretty high up there. And then you see Franciscan here with goal differential. It's Franciscan again here. Then you see Grove City over here with save percentages. This is something to take in consideration. This is their defense. This is their save. So they have a really good save percentage. Obviously, they're ranked number 1 in the pack. In the rank 35, so pretty decent. I mean, save percentage as well as all the way up to corner kicks. So I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just something to keep an eye on. There are going to be a lot of corners for them, and honestly, I've talked to Coach Ridenauer about it before, and I was like, it just feels like every time they have a set play, it's going to go in. They just execute everything to a T.
Yeah. Their corners are super dangerous 100%. Defensively.
100%.
So,
and then we're looking here. Obviously, our offense is ranked pretty high up here. Assists, goals, everything. You see Franciscans there, but yeah. I mean, that's basically it. I want to show you. Let's jump over to the actual. What's it called? The prediction. Yeah, our predictions for this actual game coming up. Yeah, and those were just the stats that we wanted to look at. A little extra deep dive into Grove City and who they are. But now we're just going to make our final predictions for this game one. What are you thinking here, man? We've talked enough about them. There's only 2 teams left. They get to lace up their boots right now. But what are we thinking for this pack final?
I'm thinking actually, Kenny, I'll let you go first on this last one. Last one of the season.
Wise words from Coach Ridenauer. Obviously, got to go with my Barons here. I got to go with my Barons, of course. I think offensively we're very, very good. I think the boys understand what this means for them. They really get to cement themselves at Franciscan. They all know what this means, and they all know the challenge they're up for. I don't think that they're going to walk in feeling like they're, steadily beat Grove City, especially since Grove City scored 2 goals on us. So I'm going for a 2-0 victory for your Franciscan Barons. I think 1 by Ryan Miller and 1 by Lucas Cross. That is my picks for the final.
Your goal scorers too.
Yep, and Barons make it to the NCAA tournament for the second time in 3 years. That's my pick.
Right.
What are you up to?
I'm gonna go with
Let's see.
So I'm gonna go Grove City. Okay, no, I'm going with the Barons, of course.
Okay, all right.
Not being biased, just what I think. So for the score, I'm gonna say 2-1. I would love to say 2-0, and I think that is a fine choice. But I'm still just a little upset that we, let a goal in against Waynesburg, 3 in total against Allegheny this season. And even I know Geneva's a good team, but I don't think they should have scored twice on us. So I'm hoping that we get that shutout, but Grove City is just so good and so quick that I can see them getting, just some crazy goal.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because they just scored on the team that hasn't lost. I mean,
exactly.
That's crazy. So I love your pick. I'm now upset at my pick. And maybe Coach Ridenauer was on something, but there it is. That was our PAC picks.
I'll say for my goal scorers too. I'll agree with you. I'll say Lucas and Ryan.
No, switch it up. Come on, I switched it up.
Okay. I'll say Lucas and then Julian.
Dang, I always feel like in big games. I always feel like in big games, it's always somebody different. Because, like, for example, like Zach Muldoon scored for us against Messiah. Like, you got to think, like, I don't think he scored a goal before that. So, like, when we played Messiah. And then, like, I don't know. It's just Isaac Doyle scoring in crazy games. Like, you know what I mean? So, just like our history, crazy games, it's always somebody that just steps up. And I love that. I love it so much. But
I'll say Lucas and Augie, actually. I'm switch mine.
Lucas Augie? Shoot. Now I want to change mine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going Lucas. You got to say Lucas. Lucas. Right. And then I'm also going, I want to say the Henny off like a header, but I also want to say, I kind of want to say, no. You know what? I'm sticking with what I'm not changing it. Juan, you're not going to change. You're not going to try to trick me. You're not using your mind tricks. I'm staying. That's it. We're going Ryan, Lucas. That's my picks. Sorry, I'm not changing it.
Okay.
I can't. That's it.
That's
2-0. That's it. That's it for this Baron broadcast. Try to keep it as quick as possible. I know we talked for a little bit longer than we should, but anyways, we appreciate you guys listening. Please like and subscribe. Please, Barons win for us so that we can continue into the NCAA tournament, which would be awesome. Looking outside the PAC, but other than that, go Barons. Show your support if you're close to the game. Get to that game. I unfortunately can't be there. Juan's already scolded me for it, but it's all right. Again, like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for your love and support. We love you guys. We're praying for you.
Thank you.
And that's basically it.
Thank you very much.
Let's go play some Frankie Sinatra.
Yes, please.